Hey guys, how you doing? It's Rico Romano, realtor with Paragon Premier Properties. And if you've been watching the Las Vegas real estate market at all, you might have noticed a little bit of a hiccup. Are we seeing that in Inspirada? Hey guys, how you doing? It's Rico Romano, realtor with Paragon Premier Properties, bringing you another episode of the Inspirada 5-minute real estate market update, where I cover everything you need to know if you're interested in buying or selling your home in Inspirada. Now, I know I haven't made a video in a long time, and I apologize for that, but it doesn't mean I haven't been watching the market. I still do my weekly updates, I just haven't been making the videos. To be perfectly honest with you, this whole video thing is still something I'm learning, so I had to step back and make a couple corrections. But that's the thing about life, right? You're always learning, you're always improving. Now that we got my apologies out of the way, I want to make sure you guys hit that like and smash button so that you're notified every time I make a video that's specifically about Inspirada. So if you live here, or looking to buy here, this is the channel for you. I'm gonna cover everything you need to know about local hotspots, about the market, about people that live here. I wanna make sure that when you make a buying decision or a selling decision for Inspirada, you're making the right decision for your family. Because let's face it, a home is the cornerstone of your family legacy, and I wanna make sure you make the right decision. Okay, now that we got all the admin stuff out of the way, let's jump right into the numbers. As of this week, ending on June 11th, in the last 7 days, we've had 7 properties come on the market. That brings us to a total of 13 properties in all of Inspirada for sale right now. And the average list price for a property here in Inspirada is $583,383. Now in the last 7 days, we've also had 7 properties go into escrow. And when I look and I analyze those 7 properties that went into escrow in the last week, I can see that it took 10 days for those 7 properties to get into escrow. So the days on market for those properties is 10 days. In the last week, we've also had 6 properties that closed. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I put a huge emphasis on months on inventory. It's a data point that I use to really gauge where the market is in a specific area. Well, we've typically been about some as low as 1 week's worth of inventory all the way up to 2 months since the beginning of the year. Right now, we're sitting at about 3 weeks worth of inventory. Now, just as a refresher, when I talk about weeks worth of inventory, actually the term is months, but because the market's so hot, I have to break it down to weeks. That just means that we have the current amount of properties on the market right now, which is 13. If we didn't have any more properties come on the market, how long would it take for those 13 properties to be sold and we wouldn't have anything for sale in Inspirada? Typically, just so you have an idea, an average market has about 4 to 5 months worth of inventory, and right now Inspirada is sitting at 3 weeks. So while the market in general might be seeing a slight, and I mean a very slight, pause in this huge trajectory that we're seeing, Inspirada is still really low in inventory. And you know, I'm no economist, but I do remember supply and demand. And when there's no supply and the demand goes high, prices go up. That brings me to another point. Right now, if you list your home, you can expect to get your property into escrow at 100.9% of your asking price. So what does that mean? Basically, really what that means is that prices are still going over asking. And that is a strong market for a seller, a weak market for a buyer. So if you're looking to sell, right now is the time to do it over the next couple months, because I couldn't recommend you selling your home higher right now. The issue you're gonna have to run into is where are you going to live? Now I have some ideas, and I've worked with a lot of clients that are in the same situation. So if you're ever interested, make sure you just send me a DM or send me a text message or an email or a smoke signal, and I'll get back to you on. Okay, I always like to close out my weekly updates when I talk about interest rates. On Thursday, every Thursday, Freddie Mac comes out with their national average for a 30-year fixed mortgage. This last Thursday, it was 2.96 as the average 30-year mortgage across the nation. Last year at this time, we were sitting at 3.21%. So you can see that, you know, we are still very favorable as far as interest rates go. In fact, last week we were probably at 2.99%. So, and we've been kind of knocking our head up against that 3% mark. I think that's kind of our ceiling. So once we break through that, we might see a steady increase of interest rates. So kind of keep an eye on that if you're looking to buy or refinance. I would highly suggest you get it done now. Now, another thing I found out very interesting about Inspirada was that in the last 3 weeks, we've had 8 properties reduce their price, their asking price, their listing price, which we hadn't really seen that kind of number since the beginning of the year. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean the market's softening? No, I don't believe so. I look at these numbers for Inspirada almost daily. So I can honestly tell you, I really believe that part of the issue is that sellers are having a hard time understanding where to market or price their house. They're going a little bit more on the aggressive side, which, you know, you can't blame them. With this market's going hot, it's hard to keep ahead of it. So maybe you throw the list price way out there and see if there's any bites. And if there are, great, go into escrow. If not, okay, maybe we'll pull back a little bit. And I think we're seeing a little bit of that pullback. Everybody's trying to gauge where the market really is at this point. So if you're looking at Inspirada, looking to buy, you need to make sure you have an agent that knows what's going on. When they look at a property, is this seller trying to just, you know, do the thing that sellers do, which is try to get the most for their property, which is absolutely their job. That's exactly what they're supposed to do. If they are, is there any wiggle room in there? Make sure your agent doesn't get caught up in this whole buying frenzy and that they're protecting you. Again, if you have any questions or you need anything, please reach out to me at any time. Also, I highly, highly, highly encourage you guys to leave comments below. Okay? I really like to read them, I respond to them, but also I like to make talking points for my next video. All right, before I go, you know, I gotta pay the bills, right? So here's one thing. Make sure you hit that like and smash button. That's not right. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. I wanna make sure that you get my update next week and that you're kept on top of the Inspirada market, as well as anything else that's going on in Inspirada, because just a couple weeks ago we had the farmers market. Things are starting to open up and people are really enjoying it. The weather's beautiful, as you can see here. Pools are opening, and I'm gonna start bringing a lot of these videos of the lifestyle here in Inspirada, and I wanna make sure you guys get to see it all. And who knows, if you live here, you might be in one of my videos. Okay guys, have a great day, have a great week. You guys take care of each other. If you need anything, reach out to me. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Stupid pat pat, stupid do.